Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Talk with the Titans, live from London, UK, all the way to the US of A and worldwide. I'm your host, Kalam L, and this is Talk with the Titans. On tonight's show, we've got Nasi Yashuvel on his return into the conscious community. Oh, man, you know he's about to go in. You know, this show is literally entitled The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Brother Nasi Yashuvel, shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom, brother. How you feeling, Kalam?
I'm good, man. I'm well, man. I'm happy to finally see your face back in on Talk with the Titans again. I think the last time, you know, we've actually had your wives on the station, on the channel, and they were going through polygamy. So that's literally the last time we've had the Nasi Yashuvel energy actually on the show. So it's great to actually have you back.
I appreciate you, brother. I brought some Titans with me, some new Titans with me, brother.
Wow, that's what I'm loving, man. That's what I'm loving. The upcoming Titans, the Titans who are rising. You know what? For a lot of people have been reaching out to me and they would love to be on the show. I'm actually going to do something where we can actually start bringing in some new Titans onto the show. So if you would like to be in on the show as a Titan, please message me. There should be in the description box, there should be an email section where you can find my email. Message me, and I'm actually going to ask you to kind of post up on your YouTube channel an untitled video where you're going in, breaking some information down, and then after that I'm going to let our audience member choose which Titan or which upcoming rising Titan will be actually able to have a spot once a month, hopefully, to come onto the show to break some information down. So you know what? As you said, you've got some new Titans. So please introduce the brothers to me, please.
All right. First we're gonna introduce my brother. You probably seen them inside me quoting them inside my books. Proud of Shot Noach and the Queen's Sacrifice. His name goes by Hata Me. Introduce yourself, brother.
Shalom, fam.
Shalom, shalom, King. All right, and we've got the next brother.
All right. And all of these brothers are part of the congregation in Atlanta called Shomrei HaTorah, which is our spiritual school, our school of spiritual science and Torah liberation. And these brothers are very powerful. They're speakers in the community. You'll see them a lot going amongst feeding the homeless, out there doing things for the community. So this is the things that we got to keep in mind. Hold on a second. Yeah, keep those things in mind because we always working hard. We're doing stuff for our liberation of our people. And the next one up is a person who does this a lot. He's a general amongst us. His name is Saryanea. Introduce yourself, brother.
Oh, peace, King. Peace, King. Just have to unmute your mic. Unmute your mic, and then we can get it in.
Shalom, what's going on with you?
Shalom, shalom, King. Oh, wait. You know what? This is going to be a powerful show already. I know it's going to be a powerful show. So you know what, Nazi? Since you're just introducing everybody, let me know. All right, who's going in first, and what information have you got in store for us? So give me a rundown of who's going in, what information they're going to drop. You know what? At each brother's information and what you're going to drop as well.
All right, I got my brother Saryanea is going to go first. He's bringing physical and spiritual warfare. And he's going to break it down from what we need to do in our community and how we're gathering the army and putting together an army. And also next is going to be my brother Hatamid, who's going to speak on the legal aspects of Torah and why Torah is a necessity for liberation. And then I'm going to come in later when I'm going to show you, I'm going to go behind and go into a little brain functions and show you how the worship of the Creator is part of the functioning brain and how it's encoded inside of the brain.
Okay, that sounds like an excellent show we've got in store for our audience. And of course, you know what? I've got some real interesting questions to ask you, Brother Nasi, because you know you've been missing for a little while, and I want to ask these questions. But I don't know whether I should ask them right now or should I wait later on in the show. Let me know, audience. Should I ask Nasi these intriguing questions right now or later on in the show? Drop your comments down below and let me know. All right, you know what? The first brother, please go in We're here. We're all ears. We want to hear what you have to say. And for everybody who's just tuning in right now, please, 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 I implore you to hit the share button. Let everybody else know that we're actually started right now. We're live on air right now with Nasi Yashuvel and his upcoming uprising titans that are coming to break down some information for you. All right, please hit that share button. Now. You know what? They're asking me to ask you some questions now, Nasi. You know, I'm gonna ask it after the first brother goes in. Let me ask it
Uh,
after the first brother goes in. So, my brother, the floor is all yours.
First of all, giving all praise to the creator of all things in existence. You know what I'm saying? I greet all y'all in peace. No matter what tribe, no matter what nation you from, you know what I'm saying? We all in this together. Um, First and foremost, I want to also say that dealing with the things that we're going through in society, the situations and circumstances that we're going through, we got a lot of people, you know, we say we prepared for this and we prepared for that, but history proves that we are going against a system that's contrary to our very mindset. So I ask the question, are you prepared for feeding your family? Are you prepared for taking care of your children? Are you prepared for taking care of your friends when there's no power, when there's no food, there's no stores, there's no sewer? You know, are you prepared for that? Are you prepared to fight against a system that has been proven to be the most destructive people on the face of this earth? You know, I look at brothers, and you know, we got our young soldiers on the street, and we always think that firearms is everything. But you got to understand that we got Navy SEALs, we got Delta Force, we got Force Recon, we got CIA, ATF, counterintelligence program. We got all these different factions that we're up against that are highly trained in doing one thing, and that's murder, and that's killing, and that's destruction. Are you prepared for that? The average mind can only relate to what it can relate to. And most of us feel that we're ready for it because we think that, you know, it's all about shooting. But there's a strategy that has to be performed. There's a lot of things that we have to make preparations for. You know, at my company, Equilibrium 360, we train about survival, wilderness survival, about what to do in the advent of a calamity, catastrophe, not just warfare. You can have storms, you can have hurricanes. You know, we got the things that's going on like Detroit where there's no water. You know what I'm saying? Are you prepared to purify your own water? Are you prepared to make your own food? Are you prepared to understand the plants that you need to eat so you survive? You know, these are the things that the people seems to overlook in all our debates and all our conversations. And these are the very necessities that we have to all face. You know, so my thing is, if you're going to protect and provide for your family, what are you doing? I mean, we all certainly seek knowledge. We all look at all our ancient knowledge and all these buildings we got built in ancient societies or whatever. But what are you doing now? What is that knowledge going to do now? What kind of solutions are you giving to your family? Are you teaching your children how to make sand in the brick? I see how brothers go to different lands and stuff like that, where there's just nothing but desert. Are you prepared to survive with nothing? The knowledge that we have should bring forth fundamental applications. You know, it's like looking at it from a metaphysical standpoint. Metaphysics is to understand of a thing from the nature of it. You understand what I'm saying? And obviously, the divisions amongst us is causing us to overlook the very fabric and foundation of what's going to actually cause us to survive. You know, so my thing is get the training in your individual communities. Get your training. Train your children. Train your families. Start organizing groups, going out to the wilderness to prepare your mind so you can relate to the things now that you can't relate to. Because if not, the coming storm has no heart. It's not biased. It don't care what you claiming, what nation you from, what tribe you from. It don't care about none of that. And that's the issues that we're facing today. In our ancient times, it was our unity as a whole. So whatever your group is, let's link up. You soldiers, let's link up. You know what I'm saying? I got what you got. You may got what I got. What I don't have. You understand what I'm saying? So we can link up and put this and organize ourselves for our own militia, for our own survival, to be able to protect not just our families, our communities as a whole.
That's mad interesting. You know what? Literally yesterday, I was actually, you know what? Allow me for this. I was actually watching a movie called The Fifth Wave. The fifth wave, and that was real interesting. I know it's a bit sci-fi out there, but it was showing you that literally anything can happen. There's loads of diseases, avian flu. There is floods, whatever else can happen. Invasion from other forces can come down and invade your land, etc. But to actually get yourself prepared. What I'm saying? Be one with nature, be able to survive outside in nature. Do you even know how to, build a campfire? Do you know how to protect yourself? Do you know martial arts? Do you know these types of things that are real crucial for your survival? So I'm feeling what you're saying right about now. Let me know as well. What is your company called?
Equilibrium 360.
Equilibrium 360. I love that name. So tell me, give me a roundabout your mission statement. What is your mission as Equilibrium 360? And go ahead.
Equilibrium is to being able to provide, to present, and to protect, and to preserve. To be able to protect everything that you hold dear to you. To be able to provide the necessary things, whether it's mental, physical, or spiritual. To be able to preserve everything that you hold dear, whether it's your family, whether it's your friends, even your own mindset. You mentioned a few minutes ago about invasion. The invasion has already started. They done tainted your water. They done tainted your food. So we got all these GMOs. We got these pesticides. The chemtrails in the air is messing up the oxygen. The invasion has been started. You know what I'm saying? Everything starts with thought. So in order for me to make you accept the GMO, I got to make you a GMO first. I got to knock down your defenses, your firewalls of safety, whether it's spiritual, mental, or physical, for your body to even accept the things that I give to you, the things that I do to you. So somehow we went wrong. Somewhere we turned against the natural fabric of what held us together as one. And it's because of that we keep going through cycles and cycles and cycles, whether it's division, whether it's fighting amongst each other. We look at our children that's in the street, gunning each other down and not understanding that they're going to need each other. We're looking at women against men. We're looking at men against women. We're looking at women against women. We're looking at men against men. We're looking at families against families. In all the midst of this, in small pockets all around the country, we got individuals that have what it takes. So let's link up. Let's link up because we're going to need each other.
That's right.
At Equilibrium 360, I got the track for forestry where we can go take care of our own. I got land available so we can grow our own food. So if you want to grow food, link up. Rather than talk about it. You say the water is messed up, purify your own water. You say the food is messed up, grow your own food. Don't cry about land. People say that they done took all the land. They done took all, but you're not failing to realize that the greatest resource in the world is human life. They don't gold, oil, diamonds, rubies, none of that means anything unless you first own a human being. Without humans, none of that means anything. So you got to understand that it is you that's the greatest currency in the world, and they keep spending you. Why you worried about everything else? Why you bickering about whose belief system is better than the other one? Why you bickering about whose organization is better than the other one? All hell is falling down around us. Society is falling apart. Why does it take a calamity for us to have to come together? Because we done went through everything. So the only thing, two things that we can actually think of that may bring us together, that's whole-scale massacre or peace. We done been through everything that existed and we ain't had peace. So the initial piece is going to make us act kind of foolish a little bit. You understand what I'm saying? We have to be prepared for this paradigm. We have to rearrange everything that's been given us, how we talk, how we walk, how we treat each other, everything. We have to change everything, because if not, the precursor to slavery, your children are addicted to the electronics. We are addicted to the electronics. The power cuts out. You can't even call your mama because you don't know her number. You understand what I'm saying? So if everything shuts off, everybody's going to turn around and look at these no people for guidance. Again, we can't allow that to happen. We can't allow that to happen. Not this time. We can't allow that to happen.
True. And you know what? If we wanted to find your company, Equilibrium 360, where can we actually find you?
I'm in North Georgia. You know what I'm saying? You can link me at Equilibrium 360 at consultant.com. You know what I'm saying? My the number there is 203-628-3746.
Could you repeat that once more? Repeat that once more for our audience.
Equilibrium 360 at consultant.com and 203-628-3745. You want to link up? Let's link up. You know what I'm saying? Like attracts like. So if you always keep that in mind, if you don't want your organization to be infiltrated, always be honest. Always tell the truth, and you'll see the liar. Always be loyal, and you'll see the disloyalty. In order for anybody to infiltrate you, you yourself have to be off point. If I'm going in one direction and you're going in another direction, it's obvious. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of us are so caught up in the conspiracies. There's no conspiracy greater than just telling somebody there's a conspiracy. There's no lie bigger than the truth, and there's no truth bigger than the lie. It's all about your perception. So it boils down, what are you gonna do rather than just talk? What are you gonna do? What are you doing? What have you done? The people, we are put here. Those of us in the awakening stances and in awakening paths that we have embarked upon, we are geared to as the custodians to humanity. So are you protecting humanity, or are you being a thorn in humanity's side? Are you beneficial, or are you detrimental to the furtherance of all our communities? I don't care what nation you claim. I don't care what you're talking about. If we're going to say life, we're going to say life. If you're saying you serve the creator, you're saying you're serving for existence, then we're going to be at the same places. If not, we're not. There's no argument. There's no bickering. There's no slandering. There's no backstabbing. Just be honest. Judge a person by their actions rather than going against each other.
I love that. I like that. I like that a lot. All right. For those of you lot who are new to the channel and are just tuning in for the very first time, let me just give you a backdrop of Talk of the Titans. Talk of the Titans was literally birthed out the idea that the intellectual giants, the titans of the community, should have a well-organized platform to present, discuss, and debate critical information affecting our community, proposed by you, our audience members, our community. And in that being said, you know what, you lot have actually reached out to me to contact a few individuals to actually come on the show. And we're going to have some of these titans coming on. Some of these names, let me just drop them for you. We're going to have Zaza Ali coming on to the show. We're actually going to have Dr. Ma'at coming on to the show. We're going to have Minister Inky coming on to the show as well. And of course, that, you know what, the world famous rapper, battle rapper, that's just literally setting ablaze the battling scene right now with his consciousness. I'm talking about the brother B. Dot. Will be coming into the studio as well. So we've got a whole host of titans that will be coming in. You know, we've also got Tariq Nasheed coming in as well. So I'm going to be thankful to all of you lot who've actually reached out to me and said, you know, please get these big titans on the show. So, you know, we've got a powerful lineup in store for you. So please look out for that. On Wednesday, I've actually booked some studio time. So literally, you know, tune in. For those of you lot who are in the UK, tune in from about midday till literally the end of the night. We're going to have loads of guests passing through in a studio setting. You know what, it's going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be mind-blowing to see. We've got people, you know, I don't know. Let me see some names that you lot may know. Stephen Sarley, Professor Sarley's son, he'll be passing through for us. We've got the author of The Blackamoors, or Yinka, passing through as well. We've got some great energy, some great people who've actually been in the music industry, in the entertainment industry. We've got a brother called by the name of Jahazil. He's literally a Christian gospel singer, or should I say he was a Christian gospel singer, winning multiple awards, mobile awards, but he's now come over to the Kemetic side. So he's going to be talking about his transition from leaving Christianity, leaving the church, leaving his whole life behind him, and then going into the unknown and trying to find out about self. And you know, it's gonna, you know, we've got so much people coming in for that. But right about now, I need to ask Brother Nasi some questions. Brother Nasi, you know, you've been ghost from the community for quite some time now. I know you said you wanted to take some time out from the community, but give me some insight. Let us know, like, why did you leave the conscious community as such, or weren't as vocal as you were before? For those of you who are from the UK and may not be aware of this titan Nasi Yashuvel, he is literally the only person to be able to step into the ring against the general Sarah Sutin Seti and silence him. He was the only person to step into the ring and actually defeat the reigning champion, the reigning general, Sarah Sutin Seti. You know what? This brother is absolutely phenomenal. He is a Hebrew Israelite. like no other. This is my brother Nasi Yashuvel.
Appreciate you, brother. In truth, we call it a return, but I see it as something that when after the last debate, I did 3 shows on your show. I actually was in the Brooklyn bookstore, and I did 3 shows there. I did 2 shows at Black National Theater. So I was still active. I just wasn't dealing with the HOK, the House of Consciousness, for many reasons. When we talk about consciousness in the conscious community, the community has to have the ability to understand what consciousness is. And when we speak consciousness and we go contrary to what the actual belief of consciousness is, then there has to be some hesitancy for anybody who indulges in the practices that actually infiltrate their own community. I've seen things that were done um, against some of my brothers, like Divine Prospect, recording phone calls and playing it back. I seen the recording of Brother Tazariak inside of his house, and it also being recorded and played out in front of a national audience where they infiltrate in people's houses. And this is not, to me, that HOK aspect wasn't consciousness no more. It's actually a COINTELPRO organization that operates as if it's a form of liberation. So me stepping back from that was a conscious decision on my behalf, not to support a company or industry that actually sucks the community dry and uses the money against them in order to help perpetuate infiltration and the separation of our community. I also seen that after these debates, the divisions were greater. Not that I'm against debates. I'm for debates if they have a form of enlightenment. If we have a goal that we're trying to accomplish, then it can be very healthy. But with that being said, I was raised with morals. I was raised with a belief system that could not be tarnished or hindered. So when you see that our brothers were being attacked or being misrepresented inside of that, that's why I came to you as a brother and I supported your platform, Talk with the Titans, because I seen that it wasn't much biasness or you giving the ability of a fair platform to all individuals. So this is why you probably see me not in the conscious community as much, because I'm really worried about building a righteous community and not a conscious community, because that community has been tarnished.
Okay, wow, okay, wow. Yeah, all you may need to do, brother Nasi, is just reload your camera or reload the Hangouts, so we'll be able to see you because you're actually not showing right now. All right, I'm gonna open it up now to the other brother who's with us. If you are there, my brother, my Hebrew Torah chanting brother, you know what? Please chant some Torah for us right now, because you know what, our audience, you know what, wasn't here behind the scenes witnessing. You know, you actually have a wonderful voice chanting Torah. So please give us a little something right now.
Okay, I was just trying to like get in my little zone before the show starts. This is what I do. So, I guess I'll go from Bereshith 36:20. That's what it sounds like.
Oh man, you know, I don't know what's going on right now, but everybody's you know what, signal is either going funny or the mic is cutting out. So you know what, I didn't get to hear everything. I didn't get to hear everything. So if you could just repeat it just once more, you got to do it.
No problem. اللي بالنسيح يرحى حريه يشبه خورس كله تنواجه اللين بنسعير حران يدبد على علوطون وشقال وسبح وعنوه. Genesis chapter 36, verse 20 in Hebrew and Aramaic.
Jeez. That's what I'm saying. We've got some talented brothers with us that really go in, really study the Torah. You know what? I'm happy. I'm happy to be graced in the presence of such titans right about now. You know what? Please, if it's possible, try to get everybody's signal just right, fix their mics, whatever it is. I know the brothers are dropping in and out. Nasi, are you there? Are you with us right now?
I'm here, but I don't know how to.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's just that your visuals aren't showing at the moment. If it's possible, just cut in and come back in again. Cut out and come back in again, and hopefully the problem should be solved. So yes, my brother, I'm gonna build with you right now. I'm gonna build with you until my brother Nasi comes back in. So I want to know, how long has Equilibrium 360 been running, and what type of activities, physical activities, would you suggest to a beginner just coming in?
Firstly, we have to stop pitying ourselves. We have to stop talking down to ourselves. We have to stop talking down to our family. I don't care what we got going on. There's much bigger things outside of our house that's tearing us inside our house. You understand what I'm saying? We keep allowing things outside of us to govern the inside of us. You know what I'm saying? We have to stop that. We have to stop that. That's a no-win situation. You know, we got so many different organizations that's taking shots at each other for no reason. Everybody's got this ego-driven thing going on. You know what I'm saying? There's no emotions on the battlefield. We at war right now. There's no room for emotions on the battlefield. So everybody has to ask themselves, is what I'm doing beneficial for us as a whole, or is it beneficial for me? Is what I'm doing beneficial for everybody as a whole, or is it just beneficial for me? Or is what I'm doing detrimental for everybody as a whole and just beneficial for me? We have a tendency to put ourselves up front when all of us are up front. All of us are in this pot together. And if we don't correct it, the outcome is going to be horrendous. So you have to start, you know, each one of you gather your friends. Talk to your friends about it's many chance you get taken up perishable items, non-perishable goods. You know what I'm saying? Collecting non-perishable goods so you'll know who has food. You'll know who has something to eat. In the event of something going on, you'll know exactly where everything's at. Get you a road atlas so you'll be able to go from point A to point B without anything. You ain't got your phone. You don't have your Zuri. You don't have your Google. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to make preparations now so tomorrow you don't panic. Because that's the first thing that's going to happen to people that don't know what to do. They're going to panic. And panic leads to bloodshed. Panic leads to death. Panic leads to mass hysteria. And panic will also lead to enslavement. Get your training game up. Teach your children. We shouldn't have to wait till our children get grown to teach our children the basics of knowing which plants to eat, of knowing how to make poultices, about knowing how to heal wounds. We shouldn't have to wait till our children get grown to go to school to learn these basic necessities that we should already have taught them inside our household. We should not do that. Everybody keep title bashing. We are all human. There should be nothing above that. There should be nothing above splitting that in half. We should all represent who we are and stand as it. You should be able to stand who you are, even in amongst of a crowd, and still maintain who you are. Be who you are and do what you're supposed to do. And what we're put here to do is for each other, to help, to build, to uplift. That's what we're here for. But we're condemning each other. That is horrible. We have to fix that. We're all guilty. No matter who we are, we're all guilty. Everybody taking these scrolls, everybody taking these books, are we applying what we're saying? You want to quote a verse with me? Don't quote a verse with me without telling me how I can apply that to my life. You want to tell me what I'm not doing? Well, show me what I need to do so I can better my life, so I can better protect my family, so I can better help my brethren rather than condemning each other. We have to close this gap and close this breach that got us separated amongst each other. This is Equilibrium 360. This is mentally, physically, and spiritually. This is a whole holistic avenue that we have to target. They're using politics to govern the bodies of the people. They're using religion to govern the spirits of the people, and they're using the media to govern the minds of the people. Without the people being aware of this, they're splitting you up. They're splitting you up before you even go outside your house. You already geared with preconceived notions to look at everything that's not you in adversity. We have to stop that. We have to stop that. We're in this pot together. So we have to stand as one. And I'm not talking about raising your fist and lifting your hands up. You touch my kid, it's going down, flat out. So we need to look at every life that's happening amongst our children. If something happened to your child, I need to look at it like this is my child. It's something, if you can't take care of your child, I'm not going to condemn you. I'm going to help take care of your child. We need to stick together as a unit, because this is the only way that we're going to be able to cross this bridge that we got coming ahead of us.
All right, for real, for real. That's powerful. That's real powerful. All right, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go back to Nasi, and afterwards I'm going to go back to my other brother, so we can really get this in and popping. So Nasi, quite recently you released a few videos, I believe. Could you give us like an overview of what transpired? I don't know, was you at Nicholas bookstore?
What videos? You talking about the ones I just recently released?
Yeah, just recently.
Oh no, it was a few things. I was working with a group, AOC with Brothers in Hashar and them, and some of the stuff that we've been supposed to release at Nicholas bookstore, but due to a few incidents, it took a while. But it was just a massive calling out for people asking for help, and they needed a voice. And people wanted a voice to stick up against the wrong that they have been done in the conscious community. And it's not always just attack at one individual. This is an attack on the conscious community in general when they don't have a governing body. And that's why it's imperative for what my brother Hatamid is going to go into. We have a law that governs us. We have a Torah, and we actually follow these laws. So there's certain things that we can't allow to happen amongst our peoples, because we are the salvation for the people. So when I spoke up about certain things I've seen, or certain things that was beginning to be a massive problem, then I had to inject and come in and say a few things and show people that the conscious community have become a people that have depleted itself of morality. And now when they don't have morality, morality has to be injected, and it shows the reason why Hebrew Israelites are actually needed in the community, because the law that governs them. So these are some of the things that I've seen. Besides the blatant hypocrisy, it's like one person can say one thing. Like I can go through the video that I did with Global Media. You see Polite talking about he's condemning anybody for going to Egypt, and anybody that goes against Egypt is funding their own oppression. So all of a sudden he says that because he's debating Seti, and he knows Seti has that advantage over him that he went to Egypt. So when he debates the Hebrews, he makes going to Egypt a big thing. It shows that he doesn't have a moral foundation on some of the things he teaches. He only injects his views or changes his views when it comes to different debates. So this is why I stood on that. I stood on the premise of people in the conscious community doesn't care about truth anymore. They don't care about what's right. They just care about what sounds good. And when you see that, is why the Torah is imperative, that we can be able to witness and we can see things coming from a mile away and know it's foolishness. And for years, intelligence has taken over the conscious community, but it's corrupted intelligence, because it doesn't matter if he stands on the moral premise of it anyway. As long as you can say it in the debate and it sounds good, that's what the people are going for. So this is kind of what sparked me, me being a person receiving massive emails and inbox by people asking to speak out on their behalf and just at least say a few words. And I came, and even in each video, I gave a conclusion or a solution to the problem. I explained what could be done to help these people out, And Martin Luther King said something. He said at the end of right before he died, he said, "I feel like I'm integrating my people into a burning building." And why did he say that? Because integration was the destruction of our people. Integration had nothing to do with liberation. So now when we see integration being pushed in the conscious community as a form of success, or it being the means of success, then we know that we're far from where we need to go in life, and we're far from being successful or liberating our people or becoming autonomous. And what we see inside of our Torah is that autonomy is the main goal. So when you look at the two options, you have the ability. Do you want to go back to liberating like your forefathers Khalid? Do you want to go back to liberating like your forefather Malcolm? Do you want to go back liberating like all the Black Panthers? Do we want to go back to them paths, or do we want to make it to Hollywood and deem that as a term of success and say that this is okay for our people to follow? We don't follow corporations. We don't follow entities. We follow autonomy. We're looking for that. That's our goal of success, and that's our means. That's what we're trying to go by. And the Most High is going to guide us in that. So this is the reason why I stood heavy on that.
Sorry, my brother. Keep on going in. Keep on going in. I apologize. I'm here. I know my other brother has got 10 more minutes left. So is it possible? Did you have anything else that you would like to say, brother Johanna?
The divisions amongst the people, right? The reason why I keep going back to this, right, is because it seems like the more and more that we, you know, I looked at King Leopold's dictates, right, and how he slaughtered millions of people, and a lot of people ignore certain things because in order for him to do that, before they flooded them with money. They flooded the poor people with money that wasn't used to money. So when you got a society that feeds upon learning with knowledge, when you look at so much knowledge and then you look at so many people not applying knowledge, it's not wisdom, the fruit of applied knowledge. So it don't matter about whether your ancient kingdom had all this glory and splendor. It don't matter about the biggest pyramids that we have. It don't matter about all the different metaphysical spells and stuff that we have. Because the same people came down and took everything from everybody. We're in the same pot together, regardless of what you claim. You say that we're gods. We say that we're goddesses. We say that we're kings. We say that we're queens. But what do these people act like? Because we're telling our children this, and our children are watching these other people just gun down God's kings and queens. What do you think that's doing to their psyche? There has to be an action amongst the people. Where there's no presence, there's no presence. There has to be an action that's done amongst your communities. You have to stand up as a whole. These people don't care about how much knowledge you got. They don't care about how much you're talking about. If you sit and say, well, you're a threat. If you sit and say, well, you're a threat to this society. You sit and say that your organization is a threat. And I'm going to say I disagree because you ain't doing nothing but arguing and bickering. How are you a threat? If anything, we're more of a threat to ourselves because of inactivity. So if you're going to stand up as a whole, set your differences aside and unite on the common factors that guides us. We all say we want morals. We all say we want modesty. We all say we love our children. We all say we love our family. We have a slew of things to unite us on, but we're taking everything that's given to us and we're turning around and we're using it against each other. We're not fighting against the paradigms, the illusions that have been bombarded upon us. You say that you cast spells, that's fine. Your spells is good, but you got to GoFundMe to pay your light bill. That's kind of off a little bit. You say that you have all this knowledge, but yet you're living in the slums, you're living in the streets. Where is it? There's no application to what you're applying. Why? Because you have to change yourself. You have to stand up as yourself. You can't take what you're learning and set it aside and not use it. You have to apply what you're talking about. We have to come together as one. We have to stand up as one. You say that you believe in a creator. I'm not going to sit and backbite and go against you with names, because if I spoke Mandarin, if I spoke Russian, I'm quite sure what I say creator is going to be different than yours. But you condemn me. You say that your belief system is the belief system, but yet your belief system says that you're supposed to be a light and a beacon to humanity. I don't care whether it's whether you Muslim, I don't care whether you Israelite, I don't care whether you Moor, I don't care whether you Kemet, I don't care whether you Kermit the Frog. You sit and say your belief system is a belief system that you're supposed to be standard bearers and a light unto humanity. Well, why are you condemning humanity? Why are you pulling yourself away from the people that you're supposed to be protecting? Why are you doing that? Can't you see that there's something wrong? And that something wrong is in you. You have to rid yourself of the things that you're looking at your brethren cockeyed about. If I'm striving to obey the Creator and walk a certain way, and you are too, it's something If we're not friends, somebody pump faking. You understand what I'm saying? Like attracts like. So whose side are you on? Are you down to stand for what you believe in? If so, do something about it rather than just talking about it. And for all those that say that you want to stand up and do something, let's link up. I'm not going to turn away my brother. I don't care what you claim. You say the tenets of your faith that you stick by, then we're going to unite on a common ground. If not, we're going to stay away from each other. Me, I'm going to stick in this for humanity to my last Shabbat. So whether you want to or whether you're not, everybody needs to do something. Some of us striving to do something. We're all wrong. We're all wrong. Let's just put that on. We're all wrong. We all end up in this place together because we're all wrong. There's a reaction to all actions. So we're going to lay that flat and we're going to leave that alone. We're going to set that aside. So what do we need to do to unite? I got brothers that say they got seeds. Well, brother, I got land. I ain't got to go get it. Let's put this up. Let's put this garden up. Let's grow this wild. We don't want to do an organized garden. We want to grow it wild so the vegetables can strengthen themselves. We want to let nature do its job. You see, you brothers say that the brothers up there in Detroit need water. Well, teach them how to purify their water. You got gallons of purifiers. You got hundreds of purifiers that purify thousands of water, $20 and $30. Take that to them instead of the water. Teach them how to purify their own water. Our children on the street, they should be scared to do something to our children. So I'm going to wrap this up. Equilibrium 360, to provide, to protect, to preserve. Equilibrium 360 at consultant.com. 203-628-3745. Shomrei HaTorah. To my brothers at MSTA, to my brothers that's off in the trenches, to my brothers that's Blood, Crip, GD, Vice Lord, Peace Stone, link up. We need our soldiers. We can't turn our back on our soldiers. The direction we're going, we have to change it. We have to do this for us and for humanity. We have to stand up as one.
Powerful, powerful. Well, real powerful information right there. You know what? I see it in the comment section. I see you lot going crazy out there in the comment section. I see my brother Sarnetta trying to get in the comment section, want to come into the panel. I see my brother Uncle Kek wants to come in and join the panel as well. There's so many brothers that wants to get in. I can see that it's a very powerful show. It's a very heated show going on right about now. The information is about unity right now. Hopefully the atmosphere can stay with unity. So let me know. I'm gonna get Uncle Kek in as well. There's so many brothers that would like to get in. So if you're watching right now and you're a Titan and you would like to come in, let me know and I will get you in. Just inbox me or let me know in the comment section and I'll get it on and pop in for you. But first of all, I need to go to my brother. My Torah chanting brother. The floor is open for you right now, and then afterwards I'm going to open it up to my brothers such as Sarnetta and such as Uncle Kek, and then we'll go back in again. All right, so my brother, please, the floor is yours.
All right. Basically, I'll just say a couple brief things about Torah from the perspective of national legality. And what do I mean by that? Well, I actually think most Hebrew Israelites have it wrong. And just before I start, my perspective is highly influenced by Rabbi Yehuda ben Lewi, creator of the first African-American, or first Hebrew Israelite rather, Siddur, as well as my brothers Yaneh and Nasi from Shomrei HaTorah. As well as middle Gaonic Yahodut as practiced in Africa and the Middle East. But right now we just got out of Passover, right? Now Passover is seen by most Hebrew Israelites as a religious celebration, but actually Passover is the story of Israel's founding, right? Just like we have in America, we have the founding of America. Where we rebelled from Britain, or tying us back to the first Puritans that came here. Or we have the Kebra Nagas giving legitimacy to the Aksumite kings, as continued through Haile Selassie and those related. So Passover is a celebration of the national founding of Yisrael. And what is so important about that? Well, nation, according to Webster, is a stable, historically developed community with like territory, economic life, distinctive culture, and language. All right. It also defines nation as a people of a territory united under a single government. And government is the system by which a state is controlled. So just to tie this all together with the Torah, the real purpose of the Torah is a legal system that puts in place a functional government. And many Hebrew Israelites put their time into thinking of who they are in terms of religion, but Torah is the foundation of the law of the land. So this is even exemplified right by Shamoth, Exodus chapter 12:49, which states, Torah aha yishel le'izrach walagera hagar b'tochachem. One Torah shall there be for the native or the citizen and the immigrant, or you could say sojourner, right? Who sojourns or journeys among you. So and that passage is interesting because it actually spoke of Passover. In that passage, and it referred to the Passover meal as part of one law, and even a non-Israelite can be naturalized and can become a citizen of the nation through circumcision. And so now, of course, the question begs, or we can beg the question, well, what does nation and what importance does all of this have? Well, nation and understanding the Torah through the lens of legality and law is the only perspective of Torah that can lead to liberation. Because it was interesting, we had a discussion, like a roundtable discussion after the camping trip. And liberation is just a word that's thrown around by, the pro-Israelites, Pan-Africanists. We always talk about liberation. And someone asked, well, what is liberation? What is freedom? Well, liberation can only come from autonomy. Autonomy can only come through self-governance. All right, so to liberate yourselves is to live in an environment where you can tune into self-determination and you can make rules for yourself. And so far, because Hebrew Israelites have relegated the Torah to the realm of religion, all right, and have limited it away from things such as war, peace, labor, economics, what else? Sociology, geology, geopolitics, domestic security, national security. Because of that, Torah will remain a religion. And basically, in order to fully implement the Torah, it has to be a law. For example, the Torah actually commands us to have our own working court system. So far, Hebrew Israelites, that say they keep the Torah, will take each other to court through an outsider, through an outside court, through a non-Israelite court. This is actually against the Torah, because if we have the supreme law, why do we have to go to an outsider to judge between us? But the Torah actually calls on us to create Beth Dins. It actually calls on us to create economies. It actually calls on us to create community. It actually calls on us and gives us the tools to create most of the things that the conscious community is searching for. And that's actually our perspective of Torah at Shomrei HaTorah. So not to be too long-winded, but that's the short story. The story gets much longer, but I want to leave room for more specific discussion and any questions.
All right, perfect. As well, for everybody who's tuning in, if you would like to ask any questions, the comment section is open. Please leave your comments in the comment section down below. And if you would like to actually call in to have your say and to ask any questions as well, the number is 315-925-5244. That's if you're in America. If you're in the UK, there is actually a dial-in code as well, which I will give to you very shortly. I'm actually going to type it in right now into the comment section, because I know a lot of you have been asking, how do we call in? So here is the number if you actually would like to call in. 315-925 5244 5244. I've just typed it and sent it off with inside of the comment section right there for you. But we're gonna get our Titans involved. Nasi, are you there?
I'm here, brother.
The floor is yours. We've got some new brothers who's literally just joined us right now. We've got brother Uncle Kek from the Amun Ra squad, who's in right now in the panel section. And we've also got Sarnetta Black News 102, Sarnetta University with us right now. So the floor is open for you. Give me a second.
No doubt. All praises, all honor, all glory to the supreme intellect of the universe, Yah of our forefathers, Yah Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, thanking the merciful King for blessing us, allowing us to have life. I'm definitely glad to be here and receiving words of wisdom from my brothers that went before us to show that this fight and this struggle is serious. There's nothing fake about liberation, and this is what we have to keep in mind. But in it, there's a thing that's called consciousness, and consciousness has to be awareness to something in your surroundings and things that sometimes are indeterminate. And what baffles science nowadays is that there's an indeterminate aspect that created a determinate aspect. What does that mean? That there is a quantum realm that created this that is not tangible or corporeal. So when we realize these things, the understanding of there being a divine can easily slip into the place if you understand science. Now, one thing I want you to understand about science is also based off of confirmation biasness. So certain aspects, if I'm a scientist and I wanted to prove a theory, I would do biased research in order to confirm what I'm saying. So if science is now the new religion, then it too is a belief that's faulty, because every theory that initially came out has eventually been altered by what they call new sciences. So scientists in itself is just the art of observation that's based upon us in order for us to realize some truth. So when you look into the 1700s, you see that religion and science took a separation, but in truth, your ancient priests were your scientists. If you look at your Dogon tribe, I want you to look at this book right here. It's an excellent book. It's called The Cosmological Origins of Myths and Symbols. It's something that you brothers need. It deals with the movement of the priesthood and how the priesthood represents certain cosmologies and how they represent the universe in different aspects. So when you see this amongst us as a people, we understand that our priests were the same way as Hebrew Israelites. You look at the Levitical order. The Levitical order, Levi means to bond or join. And they had three classes or subclasses of this Levites, or the bonding mechanism. We know that the human atom is a bonding mechanism, and it has three classes too. It has proton, neutrons, and electrons. One of the classes of Merari, which was the bitter one, did not work inside of the temple, but work on the outskirts of the temple, which correlates with your electrons. So when we see these things, we know that the scriptures is talking about divine science. But there's a lot of things I want to pull up. Kalam, if you could pull up the parietal lobe. All right, there's a scientist called Newberg. Newberg did a lot of research on the human brain. And he scanned the human brain, and he noticed that Tibetan monks, when they meditate, that their parietal lobe ceased in activity or almost completely stopped. So there was no neuron firing or no blood pressure flowing into that area of the brain. So what does that mean? What does the parietal lobe deal with? The parietal lobe deals with time and space. So when you meditate and trying to become divine and spiritual in a godlike manner, it shuts down the parietal lobe, which deals with time and space. Why is this imperative? Because once you become out of time and space, you absorb the oneness of the universe, and you become like Yod He Wav He. Why is that imperative? Because the oneness, it says Yod He Wav He, means that he is, he was, and he shall be, which represents infinity. This is the essence of the creator that was created outside of time and space. So inside the human brain, it is practically programmed for you to dwell or become like, in order to become one with the Elohim or Yahweh, the one who exists out of time and space. So when you look at the wiring of the brain, you see that religion actually is ingrained inside of the brain, and spirituality is ingrained inside of the brain. We have to understand these things. When you separate the two, you realize that something eventually is going to be torn apart. And we have to be mindful as the conscious community where we're going with this, right? So we also see that in meditation, you become one with the universe. And this is the saying in Deuteronomy 6:4. It says, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one." So through this meditation process, you become one with things that are around you in your surroundings, and you become one with the Almighty. So we understand through our Hebraic science that there is a connection with the God that associates itself with the human brain. All right, so now scientists also say that this is baffling because now that they understand that the human brain is wired for spirituality and a connection with God, the question they ask themselves, is this something that was adaptation to the brain, or was this from the beginning? Well, if you look in the book of Genesis, we see that there were three kinds of humans. You have Adam, Seth, and Enosh. When you look into the Hebrew, the word for man is Enosh, or the word for man in plural is Anashim. These Enosh are a genetic mutation of Adam, but they're not the Adam. They are the mankind that descended out from the Adam and changed into the man that we know today. And why is it imperative? Because during the time of Enosh, it states in the scriptures in Genesis 4:23, it says, "Seth, to him also a son was born, and he called his name Enosh. Then men begin to call upon the name of the Lord." So we understand from the fall of the divine paradise, where God walks amongst everybody in the Edom, or a blissful paradise, which you know about bliss when you study meditation and you meditate yourself, you get to a realm where you're one with this mighty one or this divine entity. Now, I want you to listen. So now when the fall of men happened, there was a separation between God and men when men did not call upon the Creator. But you see, when they started developing, this is the part where you see Enosh during that time has developed the aspect where he connected with the Creator. So you see there that this might be an adaptation that later came into the brain because it used to be there, but the separation caused it to fall apart. And also to support this, you hear a lot of things about cognitive dissonance thrown around in the conscious community. This is why it's imperative for you to study deep, man, and go into these understandings and interpret it the best for your knowledge and get something out of it that changes you spiritually, and stop trying to come up or one up an individual because you think you have more knowledge, but really understand the stuff that you're saying. A lot of times in the conscious community, you hear the word cognitive dissonance thrown at somebody who appears to be ignorant. Now, if you study cognitive dissonance, it's the opposite of cognitive connaissance, and that is, the connaissance means the harmonious aspect of thoughts inside of the mind, but the cognitive dissonance is the principle when you stand on a format or a foundation of something, when something or a thought process challenges that, it doesn't feel comfortable inside of the brain. But since this is an adaptive part of the brain that came in later for human survival, it is the foundational aspect where individuals have a moral belief system that cannot be shattered. So sometimes cognitive dissonance does get the best of individuals because they're not allowed to leave their foundation, but this was put inside of the brain of humans in order them to have a solid foundation and a belief system that cannot be altered by any way. So cognitive dissonance is something that is based and needed for necessity for survival. So when you hear these people spewing all of this rhetoric and they saying all of this stuff, they really don't understand anything they're talking about, because they're only basing their knowledge and studying this information briefly to one up an individual and what he's saying. But for us, as people of the Most High and people of divine understanding, if you say that you're God, we understand that there is an ability to become God, or we have portions of God inside of us. It says this in Psalms 82. It says we are like Elohim. We're Elohim, but we should die like men and fall like princes. So it's a part and a spark of the divine that came inside of us and is now living amongst us that we have to find, and we have to get out of self, or the thought of self. Selfishness enables us to become one with the Creator, right? So now, when you don't have cognitive dissonance, or you don't have that in your life, then things such as moral relativism becomes the practical norm. What does that mean? Moral relativism is the aspect where everybody does what they feel is right in their own eyes. Why is that? Why is that? That is happening now. They're teaching your children about homosexuality. They're teaching them that all of these things are acceptable. Transgenders, bathrooms are being placed all over the place. It's because now in school they're teaching our children moral relativism. That's why it's imperative when we study the scriptures in Deuteronomy 6:4, as my brother Hatamid said, is that we are taught that we have to school our own children. So in certain aspects, there should be investments for school systems for our people and our children so we can learn them, because whoever educates the people controls the mind of our children. So now, according to Torah, this is a Torah command that we are the ones who are the ones that should be educating our brothers and sisters. So keep in mind, our Torah system is something that's imperative, just because classical conditioning, and what I mean by classical conditioning, let's look at classical conditioning. Let's say that your mama used to beat you and she always had a Bible in her hand when she beat you. Classical conditioning is when you see that Bible, it sparks fear into your mind. So now that you've been oppressed by a system, or someone took from you, or abused by a Christian system, you see the Bible now as an enemy, and not because it's the one that hurt you, but the person that was around it or associated with it as the one who hurt you. So now we're under classical conditioning, and this is how you create a conscious community, because people leave the aspect of spiritual and try to find another realm inside of itself. Now, we look at this also because the spiritual practice of meditation and prayer also increases the frontal lobe. Let's pull up a picture of the frontal lobe, my brother, please. All right. So they noticed inside of people that believe in a divine source, their frontal lobe is thicker than the frontal lobe of those who do not believe in a divine source or God in itself. And what does the frontal lobe do, right? The frontal lobe is what controls the behavior of an individual. It recognizes its social surrounding and behaves in a certain manner, and has the ability to not just react off of emotions because it's connected to the amygdala and the thalamus, but it also processes it and makes sure that good and bad behavior and good behavior is acceptable before the eyes of masses. So making right decisions, applying wisdom, is also a benefit of meditation and prayer. So now the brain and the frontal lobe is being conditioned to elevate oneself in order to be a better person when it comes to character. And this is what's missing in our community. We have a lot of brothers with bad character. Does it mean that these brothers can't change? It's not that, but it's one thing when you knock a God, or you knock the ability to connect to something that is more divine, that is indeterminate, which science tells you that it's indeterminate aspect created determinate aspects. Based on science, you can't get away around that. The Big Bang Theory in itself is an explanation of that. But when you're taking away God, or you're taking away all these things, you're saying that you don't have the ability to develop a stronger frontal lobe. So now your behavior shows that you don't behave well in certain manners and in certain positions, because you don't have the ability to connect. Now this is imperative, because also you got to understand that people that believe in God feel that they're being watched or observed at all times. Now, what does that mean? When you have the ability to recognize you're being observed at all times, you're more conscious of your actions. And these are things that they've done throughout all the colleges. They did surveys where they pretend that somebody was watching and they wasn't watching. But when the people felt that they weren't being watched, they will manipulate or fabricate how many times they counted a certain thing in order to make them feel more intelligent. But when they thought they were being observed, they came with a more accurate understanding or a more truthful reply or response to what they were being asked. Now, is our reality being observed? Of course, science proves that our reality is being observed, so we are being watched. Pull up the, there you go, the double slit theory. If you ever heard of the double slit theory, I'm explaining it to you to show that observation, the universe is being observed according to scientists. So now, for a human to believe that they're being observed by an indeterminate or incorporeal being is not spookism. It is science. So now when you look at the double split theory, they took marbles and they shot them through a single slit, and they got a picture right there if you want to look at it. They shot it through a single slit and it came out in a single line. Right? So they took that same thing and they put double slits there. They shot the marbles and two lines came out on the other side. So then they took photon lights. What is photons? Photons are electrons that are excited. They took photonic lights, they put it through the one slit, and one line came out. Then they put it through two slits, and then they seen several lines came out. And this was shocking because they said once it operated as a physical entity, now it's operating at waves. Now particle and wave duality is a part of the creation of the universe. The indeterminate creating the determinate. It's all throughout science, quantum physics. You'll realize that. But now they're asking, why does it form these waves? So they're saying maybe it's because it's canceling out. So what do? They put a camera in front of the double slit. So when they shot the photon through the double slit, now that it was being observed, it came on the other side and only did 2 lines instead of a wave. So now this wave is acting like a particle, or is acting like mass. So now scientists have realized that our physical reality or our spiritual reality has collapsed into physical matter based off of observation. So now the scientists even went so far with this to observe it, pretend like they were recording, pretend like they weren't recording. It's as if the photons were being commanded and observed by something that was divine. So now when you look at ancient science is given description, or ancient belief system is given descriptions of the indeterminate realm that's unknown. And they're explaining how these processes come about. Perfect example, your science tells you about an atom, a neutron, and proton. Well, based off of observation, you cannot see that with your physical eye. So a lot of our information and knowledge is divine intuition, because we are becoming one when we shut down our parietal lobe, and we become one through meditation and experiencing things that we cannot see. This is also in the scriptures where Elijah asks the Most High to open up the eyes of his prophet or his servant when he's seen the military surrounding him and they thought they were doomed. So the Creator pulled back the veil of the heavens and he's seen chariots. So meaning that there is another reality. There is another universe, right? So we can go through all of these things and assess that our powerful mind is going to be developing and constant developing itself through neuroplasticity. Now, neuroplasticity is the ability to reprogram your brain. And this is through the thought process. It's through spiritual elevation that your mind is allowing you to do these things, right? So now we talked about the frontal lobe, we talked about the parietal lobe, and I want to go into the amygdala. And the reason why I want to bring up the amygdala is imperative because I want to talk about operant conditioning and intermittent conditioning, right? So the amygdala right there is the brother show. And the word esco means clusters. There is a story inside of our Torah that teaches us when the humans or the slaves that escaped from Egypt, or the Hebrews that escaped to Egypt, went into the land of Canaan, and they came back with a pole with a cluster on it, right? And it also explained that there was pomegranates and figs, and I'm going to go into that later. So now, why is this being told in the Torah? Why are we told what kind of clusters or what did they bring back? Because they were explaining something that was going on through physiology inside of the brain that happens to an individual that's coming out of slavery and trying to liberate itself. So when these people came back and they brought these clusters, they told all the stories how there was giants in the land. We were like grasshoppers to them. They had a level of fear. Why? Because in the brain, there is a cluster that's on the pole, as you see, the two clusters, and they're called amygdala. Amygdala means cluster. So right under the amygdala, and what does the amygdala do? The amygdala, science said that the amygdala processes fear. Well, initially, that's what they thought. Science later came and changed and says, no, it is actually a fear and reward mechanism. It shows you immediately and instinctively whether this is going to reward you or whether it's going to harm you. So now, now we know the operation of an amygdala, even though it has more details, motions and movements and dynamics to it, we're going to go into the basics for the people. Now, under the amygdala is a certain part of the brain. So you notice I mentioned when the servants went out there and they left, they came back, the spies came back with pomegranates and figs. Let's go to the flower that I sent you. And pardon me, I'm a little under the weather today, but most sides excellent. We made it. All right, I don't see it, but it's okay. All right, now figs and pomegranates are palmate fruits. You know, but you can get them. They're all part of the apples, the apple family. They're associated. They come from a thalamus fluoride plant. Now, what does that mean? It means that the fruit doesn't come from the ovaries of the plant. It actually comes from the thalamus of the plant. So the part that's under the brain is the thalamus. That's under the amygdala is the thalamus. It's enshrouded by the amygdala. So what does the thalamus do? The thalamus does rapid responses, and it doesn't base the fear or reward off of observation or attention. So now you can be in the presence of something and not see it, but the thalamus automatically reacts to it because it feels the presence of this. So now why I bring that up is to explain operant conditioning. How do you create a slave? Operant conditioning is this. Once you have the ability to train a slave, most of the time he's not going to go anywhere. You have slaves that's all on your farm or all on your land, and they work and they work it. So there's this one slave that comes with the idea and the concept to try to free himself. But the master in itself is rewarding house Negroes in order for them not to leave the plantation, so it gives them more benefits, more rewards. So now the amygdala is detecting this as a natural response to be a reward for good behavior. So now here goes a slave that runs away, he gets caught and he's brought back and he's beaten in front of all the slaves. So the same slaves that surround, they see that escape or liberation is damaging to the brain, so the amygdala sees it as fearful. Now, when the amygdala processes this as fear, it's almost ingrained in your genes for you not to try to liberate yourself no matter how much the oppressor puts you through. So in operant condition, what they have done is rewarded us for bad behavior. Our music, we're talking about sluts, whores, we're talking about all of these things, strippers. All of these things we're being rewarded for. We get $1 million contracts. When you talk about liberation, these things don't be rewarded. When we're talking about creating our own businesses and becoming innovative and starting our own community, those things are rewarded. Black Wall Street. Soon as black people got their own thing, they were destroyed. They were wiped out. Soon as the Black Panthers came and started liberating the people and feeding the people, because they understood operant conditioning in itself too. So now once they started feeding our people loved the Panthers. But that gave them the power. So now the powers to be created the WIC system. The WIC system was to take away the power from the Black Panthers. So now it's about reward in the mind. So now when we see liberation, it's more harmful than it is beneficial when we perceive it to be. Then we never liberate our people. And that's what happens to the house Negro. The house Negro sees more reward in becoming an integrationalist, in becoming down with the white man or the European, or receiving funds, or becoming naturally bonding with him, or seeing them as a friend. These things are seeming like they're rewarding to our individual people. So this is why in our mind we determine success to be something that it isn't. Success is not integrating with the white man. Success is not leaving your brothers and sisters. When we talk about the Torah is written or engraved. The word is karut. That word karut, as Hatamid will tell you, means liberation or autonomy. If your spiritual practice is not based on liberating your people, then it's a failure. Are we saying that we're not under the system and some of us are not working for Gentiles or Europeans? This is not what we're saying at all. But what we have to understand is, if we're talking liberation, we can't propagate these false entities or these things that are not keeping us autonomous by subjecting ourselves or spending extra money by spending things towards a white or Eurocentric view or a lifestyle, but we have to propagate us buying from ourselves. Liberation is going to be costly. It's going to be very costly. There are going to be people that die for this liberation. But there are people that's inside of our midst, inside of our community, that are scared of liberation. They're scared to put their life on the line. They're worried about getting shot. They're worried about being incarcerated. So them and their amygdala, they don't have the ability to process that there is more reward in liberating yourself, and the value or the aspect of self through meditation and spiritual practices is elevated when we see everybody's liberation. So if I am shot as an individual trying to liberate my people, I am shot because I see everybody as a part of me, and my sacrifice is for the betterment of the whole. But as individuals, when you're not spiritual, or you don't understand neuroplasticity, you become victims of your own brain. You become slaves to the fear that you have as an individual. And in our mind, when you knock God or you try to move God out the way, you create a community full of moralist people who don't have the ability to make righteous decisions and whose behavior is an atrocity to our community. So this is why I say death of the conscience. It wasn't death of the conscious community. It means our teachings are actually destroying our mind. We got to think about this. This is very imperative. We have to think as a people. Now, operant conditioning. Now we're going to go into intermittent conditioning. What is intermittent conditioning? B.F. Skinner, psychologist, sociologist, racist, learned ways on how to train the black man by training rats and birds. Now, what did he do? Through operant conditioning also, he had the ability to reward. He put 2 paintings before the pigeons. He gave a reward for them to pick a Mozart. So now the bird now automatically picks Mozart because it's trained to pick Mozart as a selection because it knows there's a reward behind it. So if we see a vision or we see something that we wear or apparel, we see that that means success because there's a reward around wearing it. So as a pigeon, we were trained the same way. But in intermittent conditioning, B.F. Skinner had a box with rats in it. Now, the rats, anytime they push the bar, sometimes, intermittently, food will come out. Now, the food didn't come out all the time. But the rat know if it stood by there and kept on pressing the bar, that it would eventually get food. So why am I bringing this up? It's because a lot of people that's in the conscious community know with their heart that what they're following is wrong. But they want a reward. So the rats stay by the bar. They stay in your comment sections. They stay in Facebook promoting negativity, pushing things that are wrong because hopefully they believe the big rat or give them some cheese or give them a reward. So this is why you see all of these people that surround themselves with people who are taking advantage of our community, and you see the brother, he be like, I can't believe that brother's still with them. Why is he dealing with these brothers? Because he's a rat in the box trying to get that piece of that American pie. This is why he would defend them. This is why he would stand up for things that are wrong. But I know in the heart of our brothers and sisters in the conscious community, they're deep down inside is a conscience to you. I know you have a heart. I know you have a spirit and a soul. It's time for you to wake up. It's time for you to look inside yourself and say, have I become so much of a monster that I'm here attacking my own brothers and sisters so much that I'm not looking at the injustice that's being placed upon our people? We talk about African proverbial wisdom. Here's another good book. It's called The Sons of God and the Daughters of Men. In the book, Dr. Modupe Oduoye, right? He teaches that he teaches a secret to African proverbs. He said, you are not to question whether the proverb is true, but to ask, what does it mean? So now when you start to tear apart your own brothers and sisters because you can't find an ark, or you looking for this, or you looking for that, and you're destroying their moral practices or attacking their moral practices, you don't even believe the same system that you're claiming or becoming a part of. Because now we know that this world has to be based off of observation or there will be no ma'at. How are you being judged? Who is judging you? The tree? Or the grass? No. There is a higher power, Amun, if you call it, the hidden one. What does that mean? It's not seen? Is it something withdrawn from the eyes of an individual? These concepts, we have to be real with one another. We are not teaching consciousness. We're teaching integration and science that is faulty and racist science. You have been duped. You have been tricked. You lost your spirit. You lost your soul. You sold your soul for things that aren't right. When the Israelites left in the book of Judges There was a man, a prophet by the name of Samuel. And the people were upset with him. They wanted a king. They wanted a ruler. They wanted a Nasut. They wanted a pharaoh over them. And God said, they're not mad at you, Samuel. They're mad at me. He said, give them a king. Give them what they want. Why? Because through operant conditioning, they already identified success as the same thing that oppressed them. So they became the machines in itself. But Samuel responds to the people. He said, name one of you that I have wronged, that I have stolen cattle from, that I have taken land from. Moses said the same thing when the people challenged him. Because in our Torah, we are taught to treat the people righteously. We are taught that we have to be obedient to the laws no matter how big we come. We are taught that we have to inscribe the Torahs and write our own Torahs. This is what our Torah teaches us, because once we repeat it and we keep on saying it and pronouncing it and reciting it like how Talmud did, it becomes a part of our genes. It becomes a part of our makeup. But the people were still pushing Samuel. They said, Samuel, we want this. Samuel said, he will take your daughters. The new king will take your son. He will take a tenth of your earning. He will take your money. He will steal from you. And the people counseled them amongst themselves and said, give me this. This is how the Torah teaches us operant conditioning. That our mind frame is allowing us to accept things that don't even make sense. When you hear the cries of individuals talking about their burdens or the burdens that was placed upon them by our leaders, when you hear the cries of our people in Ferguson, when they complain about people telling them to riot and F the police and destroy the police and their children are missing. But your soul is gone. Your consciousness is gone. Because you're too busy trying to be like the machine, and you're waiting for this little reward. You're waiting for this pellet of food to come out, and you keep on pressing the bar because you believe that eventually you would get them 20,000 likes. You would get them 30,000 likes. Some of you sold your soul for likes. Some sold their soul for cheaper. Some sold their soul for $500. Some $1,000. My soul has no price. And I don't care who's on the line. I will stand for my Creator regardless. And these are brothers that I have love for as humans. But I know we're suffering from conditions, operant conditioning, intermittent conditionings. And we're pushing a world of moral relativism, where it's okay to see ass and titties, where it's okay to disrespect or disregard our sisters. When we taught the black woman was God, but we only meant it in a stripper way. We taught the black woman was God, but we say colloquially, we don't mean that she's God. That's what colloquially, if you didn't get it, colloquially means I didn't mean it literally. But it was just an approach. We told you a long time ago that was the new game to get you in your drawers, sisters. We told you that. We explained this to you a long time ago because in our minds we can sense BS from far away. We know it's coming. We knew it was coming. We told you it was coming. We told you it was coming a long time ago. But now, brothers and sisters, mend your ways. Mend the wrongs that you have done. Am I standing here as a perfect individual? No, I'm not. But one thing you can see inside of me is sincerity. I've been to Baltimore. I've been to Ferguson. I've seen people crying. I've seen mothers talking about their houses and their doors were kicked in and their phones were broken and destroyed. I remember watching the conscious community, and I was told by a general to bust a white man upside the head, to F the cracker. I was told by another man that he doesn't deal with the cracker, or the cracker's a devil, but yet they're making business deals with them. But when I went there and the young people warred against the police, their leaders wasn't there. There was only a few people that had a heart to do something that was real. They were fighting a cause that their leaders didn't even believe in. Their leaders don't believe in liberation. They just want integration. Their leaders did not want to bring the people out of the situation they're in. They only wanted to feed themselves off of the desire that lays dormant inside of us to become free people. So we feed them. We feed them the information and make it sound valid, but there's no practice behind it. So as a man, before you make a comment, ask yourself, am I being sincere? Ask yourself, is there any validity to what this brother's saying? Ask yourself, have I been on the threads all day going back and forth with another brother on the comment page just fighting against my brother? Ask yourself, did you think liberation was going to happen on the keyboard? Did you think liberation was going to happen by destroying the only brothers who stand up in the middle of the warfare for you? Did you think it was wrong to speak out against Hebrew Israelites when everything jumped off? We were there, hundreds of brothers deep. Did you think it was okay to go against your own military? Because you think what you teaching is deeper than what somebody else is teaching, but you don't have the application? Do you think it's wrong to go after brothers who you look on their page and they're feeding the homeless every other week out of their own money and don't have a 501c3? Do you think it's wrong for you to slander a man and lie on him that has 2 wives and 14 children, who dedicated and devoted his life and didn't ask for a dime? Do you think it's okay? Where's your soul? Where's your conscience? The same man that stood in the front line in Ferguson and the cops backing down. With my brother that was on here, Saryane, me and him, we went to Ferguson off of the last minute, slept in the car, got up and marched in protest. Brothers was marching. They fell out in the heat in Ferguson, passed out. We rendered medical aid to these brothers. Took off their shoes, gave them water, brought them back to life, told the ambulance to get away from here. We got our own people. Do you think it's wrong what you're doing? Where's your soul? My soul don't have a price tag and it never will. Shalom Aleichem.
Ooh-wee. Wow. And that was deep. That's deep right there. My brother Nasi Yashuvel is going in. Everybody who's watching right now, let me know in the comment sections what you're feeling. We're about to get turned up right about now. I'm just going to mute everybody's mics because there's a lot of feedback going on right now. Oh, man. Wow. I'm waiting for the comments in the comment section. Let me know what you're thinking, what you're feeling. If you like this information, if you're loving, if you're touched by this information that you've been receiving from our brother Nasi Yashuvel, please give us a big thumbs up. Let us know that you're enjoying the information. Come on, we need some interaction. I want to know you're enjoying the information. I'm hearing it so far. I like it. Get him, Nasi. Fire. Fire. He talking to himself. Times TV asked, did he open up the lines? Okay, see, we're getting in now. That's what I'm talking about. I like the interaction with the people. Real quickly, for those of you who are fresh to the channel and you know what, you're just tuning into Titans TV right now, you know what, we're literally the home of the conscious community, home and abroad. You know, we've got loads of conscious lectures, discussions, interviews, and debates going on right about now on Titans TV. Wow, over 305 people watching live right now. If you haven't checked out the past shows, please check out the past shows. We've had our brother Sharif Bey come on to the show going in, the golden age of the Moors. Brother Polite showing his PowerPoint, the missing PowerPoints from the debate. Young Pharaoh confronting Uncle Keck. You know what, we're still waiting to see this debate. I want to know, man, is Uncle Keck, we've actually got Uncle Keck on the line, so hopefully we'll see if he's going to take up that offer with brother Young Pharaoh. We've also had Ishmael Bey in with us, and of course, you know, we've had the Moors going in. We've also had Rabbi Rosenberg on here as well. You know, we've had so many different people coming on. Sarnet has come on. He's actually on right now. If you haven't as well checked out the debate section, we have a section called Speakers Corner, where we host loads of debates from Christians, Muslims, atheists, Kemet. You know what? Everybody is here. I'm hearing that for you Hebrew Israelites out there, ISUPK is going to be coming to the UK very soon. We've got Mashak Mayam flying in to actually come down and actually get involved with Speaker's Corner. So that's going to be interesting. I'm going to line them up with a few people to debate. And if you haven't already, please check out my own videos that we've got here. You know, I got me breaking down the 42 laws of Ma'ad, doing some debates, Speaker's Corner, dedicating some videos to the Muslims, dedicating some videos to the Kemets, dedicating some videos to the Israelites, all sorts. So please check out the channel. If you haven't already, check out the channel. And we're about to get it in because we've got a few Titans on the line with us right now. So let's actually get it in. I know they've been waiting for quite some time to actually speak. So my brother, I'm going to introduce, you know what, the king. You know, this is, no. I was going to say the king of New York, but that's Uncle Keck. I'm going to say the godfather of New York, brother Sarnetta. Yeah, my brother. Just press unmute your mic and you'll be able to get in.
Peace, brother. You hear me?
Peace. Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. I want to say peace and black power, man. Yo, Kalam, thank you for doing this show. Yeah, let's give Nasi a round of applause for that sermon that he did. He damn sure ain't fooled me. Nasi is full of shit. Make sure I say that. He is full of shit and a goddamn hypocrite. I got to call it what it is. I'm not here to play no goddamn games with nobody. This is what I do. Before you can talk about the conscious community, you should be more in tune with your community, with the Hebrew community. That's what you need to be focusing on right now, Nasi. Don't forget, Zion Lex came up in your community. All right? Zion Lex came up in your community. Number one, you come out of hiding for 3 years. And the best you could fucking talk about, Nasi, to bring to the people is what Polite is wearing, is what Sarnetta is driving, is that what your God is most concerned with? So that's why I said you a fucking hypocrite. You should be dealing with real issues right now. Sorry about that, Kalam. I try to cuss out the profanity. I see what you're doing. This is how I speak. This is how I get it in. I'm not the intellectual. I'm the flamethrower. That's what I am. I'm the flamethrower because I'm not going to tiptoe through the tulips. All right? You talk so much about the conscious community, but if it wasn't for the conscious community, you wouldn't be sitting your ass right here, right now. Ass is in the Bible. You wouldn't be sitting here right now on the Kalam show right now. It is because of the conscious community that people know you all over the world. It is because of the conscious community that we was able to support you and feed you. I gave you money out of my pocket. You never gave me no money. It was Sarnetta TV program that brought you out into the public. You see what I'm saying? So let's stop playing games with this, man. You talk so much about the conscious community. You got to fix your own community, man. Your brother that came up in your house that you brag about, Zion Lex, he said that the damn fake, so-called Jew is his brother, is his mentor. Is that what you teaching him? He ain't say you was his mentor. Don't forget how long he been there in your community. So I know that you teach the same goddamn thing. You don't believe in Jesus Christ. I heard you many times say that you would never bow down to Jesus. So what type of Hebrew are you? I used to respect you, man, until you start disrespecting us. Now, I want to do this real quick. I want to separate Nasi from the real Hebrew Israelite brothers that I respect. The real Hebrew Israelite brothers that I respect, of course, is the Guerrilla Hebrew, Hashar, Daniel Allah, who I was with last night at the Passover with Captain Tazariak and the ISUBK family. Shout out to them brothers for a 47-day Passover anniversary that they did. Beautiful in the building. All right? They treated brothers like family. Daniel Allah was in the building. He showed love. I just threw up a video with them brothers. Nasi is trying to divide the community. He's trying to bring back up the Hebrews versus the conscious community. We ain't falling for that. You can't put that small time stuff over on us. Because as you can see, we uniting here in Harlem in the black community with the conscious community. Yes, we still have our differences. Yes, we still gonna have disagreements. But just because somebody don't believe in your God, Nasi, don't mean that he's wrong. That's your damn belief, not mine. I've been got rid of that slave teaching a long time ago. So you got to break the chains and shackles off your mind and your head. Just because we don't follow and believe what you believe, you think we lost? No, hell no. You lost. You the one that's lost. Breaking the silence. And the best you could come up with is what somebody's wearing on their ass or what somebody's driving. You went to Ferguson. You talk about that so much. So what you went to Ferguson? What have you accomplished? What have you done besides take pictures? So what you went to Ferguson? Did you break a white boy face? If you ain't do that, if you just went there to march, then don't tell me about you going to Ferguson. Anybody could go to Ferguson. I've been to Millie rides. I stopped doing all that nonsense. If you ain't go there to crack a white boy in the jaw, then don't come back talking about we went to Ferguson. So what? How many pictures you took? That's all you did. You went to Ferguson. Nobody wouldn't know you if it wasn't for the conscious community. So let's keep it real. I put money in your pocket. You never took care of me. You come out for 3 years, and then when I fire shots back at you, you want to make it look like I started it with you. We haven't called your name for over 3 years after that debate was over, and you went your own way, and we went our way. We never even talked about you. We was too busy trying to bring us together with the conscious community. Tazariak, ISUBK, Daniel Allah, we cool. Where you been at? See, if you wasn't so busy hiding under your bed, you would have known that, brother, we've been coming back together. Every time come in the community, him and Tazariak build, or him and Daniel Allah, with whoever we see, we building, brother. So you got to stop that divide and conquer shit. That ain't working over here with us, man. That's not going to work. You're a hypocrite. And I want to ask you, do you believe in Jesus? You're going to say this to me. You got the audacity to disrespect me and tell me that if I don't apologize to your God, you're not going to come back on my show. Who said I wanted you on my show? I never called you to be on my show. See? So your head and your ego is too damn big. And the reason I'm speaking like this to you because you put my name in your mouth.
All right, let's go. Let's go. All right, let me respond to what you're saying, brother.
Real quick.
Nah, you disrespectful first and foremost. You cursing on the show first and foremost. Let's go. I want to respond to you.
Malcolm said if you take a rock and you throw it in the crowd of dogs, the only one that bark is the one that got hit. So if you got hit, just take that.
Stupid. That sounds stupid because you saying my name. Hit dog holler. You saying my name. Let's go. All right, first of all,
cut you off. Yo,
let me respond to your lines, brother.
Mute his mic. Be respectful. Because I'm going to be finished real quick. Number one, you're going to tell me to apologize to your God when you came here and you talk real reckless about what we believe and what we teach? You said Hatshepsut was gay. You talk negative about our ancestors and about our teachers, but you want me to apologize to your God. Hell no. I would never apologize to your God. I apologize to Captain Tazariak and the rest of them because it's obvious you have two different gods. The Most High was not with you at that debate. Get over it. Move forward. Move on. We moving on. I love the ISUPK, Hashar, and Daniel Allah, and the rest of the Hebrews, Guerrilla Hebrew. Those are not my enemies. See, if you was tuned in, you would have seen us working together. We did a powerful, powerful interview Saturday with the brother Ronald Savage. That's doing work. That's bringing the information out to the people. You think you the only one doing work? Come on, bro. I've been doing this shit right here before you even came out in the street. So you talking to the wrong one. Go ahead, let Unc talk, man. Let Unc get it in. Unc ain't get it in yet. I don't want to go back and forth with him. Go ahead, Kalam. Bring Unc on. You're a hypocrite, Nasi. You brought my name up. You talked about me.
Yo, Kalam, I'm gonna say this to you. I'm gonna say it and I'm gonna be firm. This is the show I'm on. The person that's calling does not get the same amount of time as the person that's giving the dissertation.
Hey,
so these brothers need to get hold on. They need to get limited time on their response. But I'm going to respond to everything he say because obviously everything I said in the show he didn't address nothing. He just yelled and screamed, and that's why I'm going to tear your ass up. Watch me. Watch me.
I here to address none of that bullshit.
Watch me, brother. And I want to say this to you before you even start. Be very, very careful what you say, bro.
Okay, Yashuvel, Nasi.
Whoa, hold on, Kalam, don't cut me off. Whoa, hey, that's a threat or something, though, bro.
I'm saying to you, be very, very careful what you say.
No, I'm asking you, is that like a threat?
Listen what I'm saying to you. Listen what I'm saying to you. Listen what I'm saying to you, brother. Listen what.
Nah, I mean, you're not careful in what you say.
Okay,
I know what's out my mouth.
I've got to mute everybody's mic. I'm gonna just reiterate the rules. So please,
how you gonna do that, though, Kalam?
Oh, come on. Just mute your mic. Mute your mic.
Tell me, watch my eyes say shit.
I know. Mute your mic. Okay, just to reiterate the rules of the show, please, everybody, keep your mics muted at all times. That's rule number 1. Second rule is to respect everybody's cipher. Once they're speaking, let them continue to speak. Respect that, and then afterwards we can get it in. Third rule is please, no profanity. I know it's going to be difficult. It's like censoring the trueness of who you are, but try to keep the profanity to bare minimum. Please, okay? So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to open up the mic to Nasi Yashuvel. I'm going to let Nasi Yashuvel respond to everything that Sarnet has said. Then after that, I'm going to open up the mic to you, Uncle Kek. And then from there, we decide, what is the next flow of the conversation. All right? So agreed? So Nasi, please open up your mic. The floor is yours. Then afterwards, Uncle Kek will be able to speak.
All right, real quick, to Uncle my statement was so you don't come across as disrespectful as this brother that just did. That's all I was saying. Now back to you, Sarnet. You started off with a lie. You said you've been hiding for 3 years. If you remember, the Kimmon on trial was 1.5 years ago, brother. Stop fabricating your lies. So even then, I did two things at the Black National Theater. I did things at Nicholas Bookstore. I was on Talk with the Titans 3 years. That's another lie. Then you say you rock with the Hebrews. You're not trying to divide. But last year, ISUBK was the Bible, the Hebrews that you said you were shooting up their Bible. See, you a hypocrite, brother. You a real hypocrite because 1 minute you like this group and that group. And I know you divide Hebrews. I see what you do. I don't care who rock with you. I don't mess with Hebrews that rock with you. You can quote me on that. First and foremost, when I finished the SETI debate, me and Uncle Kek and another brothers did unity tours in Atlanta. So what are you saying about unification? I've been for unification. In fact, the deal was if I took that last debate, we were supposed to create a unified government. It wasn't until you started taking shots at my God and saying that you are Yahweh. Now, this is the problem, and this is what I'm saying to you. So you talking about all you're going to do is talk about polite clothes. When I spoke about polite clothes, I was using in-clothes cognition. I don't expect you to understand it. You're not that intelligent. You just said it. So when people deep enough are here to able to see what I'm talking about, when the brother talks about black liberation and he's putting money, thousands of dollars in the white man's pocket in order to wear a t-shirt, then that's not liberation and it's not autonomy, but that's over your head. You didn't get it. I didn't expect you to get it. First of all, you're disrespectful in so many different ways. You say certain stuff, I'm a hypocrite. You said I don't believe in Jesus. Everybody knows I don't follow Yahweh Shai. I only see Yahweh Shai as a war militant. They know that. So you just saying that because you want Israelites that's on the line to get mad at me because you're playing on their fear and their amygdala. You so predictable. You so easy to see through. You the same man that let another man come and you took the like and unlike off the picture when Polite is talking about Lena Chase and having an interview talking about he want to see her ass and titties, but you talk about black liberation. You the same brother we got on video who is down south Atlanta who is in the fields, and when the white man come, you hiding. You were the same brother. You were the same brother who said you don't want to go to Ferguson because you scared to get locked up. You can't come on here talking liberation, brother. And I'm telling you, you be very careful how you talk to me, King. That's all I'm saying to you. And I'm telling you this. You come on these shows, you don't say nothing. You don't respond to nothing. You lied about allegations. You said me and Zion Lex came from the same school and he the one that brought the European in the debate. First of all, you a liar because you and Polite is the one who called Zion and asked him did he know Harry Rosenberg in order for Harry Rosenberg to become on the team and join him. So y'all brought the European inside of the damn community, and I was against that idea and that concept. You said me and Zion go to the same school. My school is in Atlanta. Zion Lex's school is in New York. Zion Lex has not been a part of my family's community in almost 15 years until he recently joined back after getting on Sinetter's TV. You teach lies. You a slanderer. You say so much stuff that's wrong. It is an embarrassment to the community, but I don't expect nothing from you. You the same one who was on the phone after the Kemet on trial where you said people got beat up. Is you the one said I'm going to declare mistrial. These brothers didn't answer the questions. That's your words, but you a liar. You are a serious liar. You the same man who talks about the black women and respecting the black women, and you can't stand how ISUPK disrespect the black woman, but you say they the real Hebrews. But I understand why you say that, because we got screenshots of you calling sisters BITCHs on your post because they want to get their hair done like Europeans. You're very disrespectful. We got text messages of you sending the other brother saying how much you hate Africans. I didn't put none of this stuff out. You keep playing with me. Watch what I do.
It's getting heated up in here. It's getting real heated. Obviously, we're going to try to keep it as respectful as possible.
Kalam, am I back?
You're back.
Okay, I just want to say this real quick, man. Yo, Nasi, watch who you talking to, man. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. But now let me move on. You said that I was hiding when I went to Atlanta. Never saw that happen. See, so I know you're lying, bro. I know you lying, man. I was hiding when I went to Atlanta. That's crazy. Whatever you got of me, put it out. I don't give a shit. You can never hold nothing over my head. That's one thing about Sarnetta. I stand on what I said. Yeah, I said that. I said that I hated Africans. I said that shit before. Yes, I did. I'm not going to deny it. Put it out. See, you can't hold nothing over Sarnetta's head, man. What can you say about me that has not been said yet already? I'm not some of the other brothers, man. I got tough skin. I can take it. Say whatever you want to say. But Nasi, don't forget, I brought you out into the conscious community. I showed you mad love. I have never disrespected you, Nasi. All of this disrespect started coming when I see you talking negative about me. When you and Seti had that debate, me and Seti didn't speak for damn near a year and a half because I said you won that debate. That's real talk. And you flipped the whole script. Me and Seti stopped speaking for a damn year and a half. I never spoke ill of you. I hear you speaking ill of me. You see, you think you can throw stones in the glass house and you can insult me and disrespect me, but I gotta watch my mouth when I talk to you. I'm your elder. You may not look at me as that, but I'm your elder. You're not my elder. You trying to sound like you're a gangster or something. All you can do is take the body. Brothers know how. Come on, man. All you can take is take the body, bro. No fear here. So watch your mouth when you talking to me. If you disrespect me, I'm gonna give you that same energy back. That's all. You started the disrespect first, not me. I never came at you disrespectful. I go on the video, them hoe ass niggas sending me videos that you did. Yeah, they sent it to me, the one that you went on their show. Oh, fraud sends a video to my phone. Look, nigga, look what he said about you, and sending me videos. And I'm like, damn, why did he come out with? Why is he saying this about me? I don't come out talking about him. You see? So you got to look at who you making videos with and who you sitting down with, because you think they like you. You think they support Hebrews. Anybody who goes against Sarnetta in the House of Consciousness is welcome to the fraud show. And they will bring you on and act like they love you. They don't care about you, bro. They'll throw you under the bus in a minute. How many times they said they Sky Daddy? Now, this is real talk. You want me to apologize to you for talking about your God, but you go on a show with old fraud and they talked about Sky Daddy, your God, but you went on their show. His video's out where you can see him. He said, yeah, them niggas up there, they talking about the Sky Daddy. They worshiping the Sky Daddy. Don't tell me you ain't see that. But you go on their show. I'm done. I'm done, man. Go ahead, Kalam. Bring in Nasi. Let him answer that. Let him answer all that.
Nasi, Mike is conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. My mic is going crazy. Nasi, if you're there and you would like to respond, the floor is yours. If not, I'm gonna introduce Uncle Kek into the conversation.
You hear me?
Yeah,
hold on one second.
First and foremost, there's a bunch of rhetoric that he got going on. You know what I'm saying? He talks about Oh God and Solomon, and my communication was with Solomon. So Solomon reached out to me and talking about doing the show, and no doubt I went on that show, just like I went on Basim's show. You had blatant disrespect towards my creator and what we stood for. This was a direct attack towards me. And I know what you're doing. So you can have all of them Hebrews. You can have all of the brothers you name. I don't rock with anybody that disrespects or align themselves and they keep on going to somebody who doesn't have respect or reverence towards what they're standing for. So if me and Ogon and Solomon has to have a discussion, I come to them directly and I tell them how I feel. But you go on live and you disrespect. Don't act like you didn't start this. You've been started disrespecting by sowing the discord you did amongst my community. By lying, by fabricating everything you said. And this is absolutely why you apologized when Rosenberg came on to the Hebrews, because you knew you was treating them foul. So you admitted it yourself. You admitted it yourself.
To Rosenberg?
No, you didn't. You apologized. Listen, you lied and you said I had talks with Rosenberg. Did I have talks with Rosenberg? No, you a liar. That's all you do. You liar. You a liar. And you know that. I never spoke to Rosenberg in my life, brother. You are a liar, Sarnetta, and you always going to be a liar.
You a liar.
I have respect. I have respect to leave it alone.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to now open up the floor to my brother, Uncle Kek. Uncle Kek, the floor is open to you right now.
Yeah, well, your mic sounding crazy, man. Black African Power, I'm a raw squad up. Real Black Atheism is on the rise. What's going on, brother Sarnetta?
Everything good, brother.
What's up, Yashuvel?
Black African Power.
Yeah, man. Come on, man, with all them slide threats a little bit, man. I ain't never threatened you before, bro. We can't do it like that.
I ask for respect, brother. You know me. You know me. That's all I ask for.
But you don't got to ask me. You know what I'm saying? Respect is earned, right? And, with y'all brothers going through that shit'll be over with. You know what I mean? But you ain't got to put me in there where I'm from. That's called you slide threaten me. I wouldn't threaten you, brother, no kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want no problem, no hostility. I'm too old for that. You feeling me? But what I will do is I'll beat your ass up with scholarship. So let's get right to the scholarship. Listening audience know that I'm glad to see you using the word science, but I have to tell you that you're using the word science incorrectly. First of all, science has nothing to do with racism. It's people within science that practice racism. And the only way that we can conquer racism, white supremacy, is through science. the way they snatched you up and kidnapped you from Africa is because they had better science. Is you would believe some kind of way we got broken away from our God. That's not the truth. It was science and technology that we lacked in, which racism, white supremacy had the upper hand in that category. And so we deal with science not because we're not spiritual. We deal with science because science is African true spirituality. Now, white people will lie. Negroes might lie. But one thing's for sure, numbers don't lie, right? And science is based off of numbers, right? Science is based off of facts and figures. Science is based off the observation of the natural world. And let me clear this one thing up real fast. If your Bible had science, right, by now, right, you would have corrected it. But see, there is no room for correction. That's what science really teaches us. Science is falsifiable. There is no room for changing your quote-unquote Torah because Moses split the Red Sea. You can't say now today, well, really, that ain't even possible for the Red Sea to be split. See, that's why we understand that you use the word incorrectly. There is no science. And if it was science, the science that's in the Bible would be outdated science. And see, that ain't a problem with science being outdated, right? Charles Darwin had scientific views that were outdated, 100 years by now. And a lot of things that Darwin said is just not true anymore, right? And so we truly understand what science is. Science has never been a religion. Science is the natural way of life as shown in the Greenfield mathematical papyrus. When the ancient Nile Valley Africans clearly show you the method, the method and way for observing the natural world. Okay, so the scientific method comes from Kemet. And so we will stand on the shoulders of science because there's only one way to defeat pseudoscience. You can't defeat pseudoscience with pseudoscience. You can only defeat pseudoscience with science. You can only defeat science with science. You can only defeat racism, white supremacy with science. So you did a real good job. You sound like a Baptist Hebrew. About an hour and a half. You my man, yo. But you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, man, look, man. Everybody know what science is. Science does not take away from your spirituality. At the core, who and what we are, man, we're scientific people. We're going to keep marching on. You and my brother Sarnetta, man, y'all going to get back together. I already know how that is, man. Y'all stop going back and forth, right? But real black atheism is on the rise, and we're going to stick strong to that science. Hey, by the way, Yashuvel, I see
you. All right, real quick.
Star.
One second, real quickly. For all of those people who would like to actually get in, and sorry, just mute your mics, everybody. Yeah, for all those people who would like to get in, the number to phone in to actually ask Brother Nasi Yashuvel and the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse some questions. Hold on, let me see. Let me just mute everybody's mic real quickly because I've got some feedback going on. Let me just mute some mics, people. Yeah, the number to phone in is 315-925-5244. I'm going to repeat that again. The number to call in to ask the brothers some questions is 315-925-5244. Let me repeat that once more. 315-925-5244. Okay, so if you would like to come in and ask some questions to the brothers, please call that number. We've got Nasi Yashuvel with us right now. We've got the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse with us right now, our upcoming titans from the Hebrew community. We've got Uncle Kek with us, and of course we've got Sarnetta with us right now. All right. So again, the number is 315-925-5244. And for everybody else who's tuning in, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button. You know, where have you not been? We've got exciting shows like this happening. You know, last time we had a show like this was literally with Rabbi Rosenberg, Polite, Sarnetta, the Amun Ra squad, and that was a very heated, a very powerful show as well. A lot of things got said. You know, certain times I do allow the show to be a bit slack because in the sense that I know we're coming from a very heated standpoint and a lot of things have been built up in frustration and needs to be said, so I allow this to take place. So don't think that I'm just doing this for whatever the sake is. No, I know, you know, the psychology, we need to release this energy, otherwise we're going to become very toxic. So I can see that we've got a few people that's called in right now. from Springfield, and from Tennessee, I believe. So let me just open up the phone lines to these individuals. I'm going to ask you to please just mute your mics. Okay. Are you with me, my people? Just unmute your mics. I believe it's double star. Press double star, and you'll be able to be unmuted. Okay, Springfield, are you there? Okay, is there any questions that you... Go ahead.
I just wanted to know, I didn't get to hear the answer for the Israelite about his beliefs in Jesus. He said he doesn't follow the teachings, but it would still be part of his book, so I just wanted to hear more.
Okay, Nasi Yashuvel, I'm just going to mute your mic, sorry. Brother Nasi Yashuvel, if you're there, the brother would like to know about your stance on Jesus. I believe he's not familiar with the non-messianic Hebrews, so please could you just enlighten our audience members on your perception of Yeshua or Yahushai, and you said that you saw him as a general or a war leader. So could you just elucidate on that point? Nasi, if you're there, just unmute your mic.
All right, so the proof of him being a war leader, you can see from my perspective, I stand upon this court, the dead trembles under Rome, by one of my teachers, Professor Rudolph Windsor, which explains some of the contradictions inside of the New Testament. But in the story, there's actually a person in there that did go against Rome. So I do stand and respect the aspect. And you got to remember, Yeshua, most of the names in the Bibles are epithets, they're titles. They're given descriptions of the actions that they've done. So a savior or salvation is just a word of a person that was going to deliver out of bondage to people. So Yeshua also was a title, and there was many people along with them titles. So that's my stance on that. But I want to respond to something Ankh said. You didn't really say much, and I respect you for that. But I will stand on this. You said science is based off of... But you said your system is called African spirituality. The spirit is the non-physical existing part of a human body. So how do you measure spirituality when it's not based off of observation? So what you say your system is a contradiction according to what your belief system is now. It's an apparent contradiction. First and foremost, also, when you say observation of physical things, you had a debate with the white boy, and I had to say I'm not impressed, man. I had to stand on that, and I had to say that white boy kind of demolished you out the gate. But I want to show that what the white boy said in there is he brought up the fact that you said that 95% of the world that exists is not visible or cannot be seen. So you said African spirituality only teaches physical observation. So are you saying that Africans didn't understand the 95% reality? And then you use an explanation of the microcosm and the macrocosm. You said in the microcosm and the macrocosm that they understood that the human body existed like the universe did. Well, how did they have any proof to confirm their theory on the human body existed or operated and functioned like the cosmos without physical observation? So that's what I want to say. Yeah, African spirituality, if you're talking about science is based off of physical observation, then you're flawed off the gate. You have to change African spirituality, but I don't expect anything to come from people, which I said earlier today, that doesn't believe in a God. Because there you go standing right by a brother who says Africans to start out with black African power. So obviously your stance is not about a moral practice of believing the things that you say. So your term African spirituality is a contradiction to your belief on what you say science is.
Hoo-wee. Okay, before you return that, please, 1 second, because I realize we're actually running close to overtime, or we actually have run into overtime.
Man, don't cut that off. Don't cut my response off, bro.
I know. I definitely won't. So what I'm going to do right now, before you give your response, because we've got quite a few callers calling in as well, I want to know, do you not want a part 2 to the show? Or should we just cut off after Ankh has responded? Do you want a part 2, or should we cut off? All right, let me know in the comment section if you want a part 2. Let me know. All right.
And also I do have brothers that want to respond too.
Okay, exactly. So I think we may have to go for an overtime. Yeah, we may just have to do an overtime and set up a second show. I'll let you lot know the process on that. So yes, Unc, the floor is all yours. Go ahead.
The standard model of cosmology indicates that the total mass energy of the universe contains 4.9 ordinary matter, 26.8 dark matter, and 68.3 dark energy. Thus, dark matter constitutes 84.8% of total mass, while dark energy plus dark matter constitutes 95.1% of total mass energy that is contained. The greater majority, right, of the ordinary matter in the universe is also unseen, since visible stars and gas inside galaxies and clusters account for less than 10% of ordinary matter. Contribution of the mass energy density in the universe. Clearly spoke, brother. When I was talking about the whole goddamn cosmos, see, this is the problem with the Hebrews. They only think about Earth, and they think that their God, right, is the master of the cosmos, when it's only the master of the little area called Israel. So just because the majority of the universe is dark matter and dark energy has absolutely nothing to do with the matter that is here on Earth. Get your mind right, Yashuvel. And I tell you what, for you back in the white boy, I see you. You see, I am the A side, and this absolutely explains my point. At the end of the day, that white boy was a religious zealot, right? And I see you. You back him because he supports you and your God. But what you don't know is that white boy was an intelligent designer. That white boy could give 3 flying fucks about you, Yasserel. And I see you. It's very, 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 very interesting how you did that, Yasserel. I'm going to say this again, brother. We're the A side. We will not bow down to European ideas and concepts. We will not bow down to Hebrew ideas and concepts. We will not bow down to black people who are really Negro kings, right? White people in blackface. That's exactly what you are, Yasserel. I would never cheerlead a white boy over you. That white boy didn't smash me. He only smashed me if you're a Baptist Hebrew preacher. And guess what? I see you.
Now, hey, Brother Kalam, can I say this real quick, brother? Real quick. Do you hear me, Kalam? I can't hear you.
Kalam, let me respond. Kalam, let me respond.
Yeah, real quick,
Kalam,
real quickly.
Kalam, let me respond. And I'm going to kill this real quick. I'm going to see what happens.
This is a response when he said
brother,
that.
Didn't I say I'm done with you? Then we squash that? Can you be silent and let me respond to the brother?
I'm talking to you, When he said I hated Africans, let me say something. When you mad and you upset because the Africans was not doing what they supposed to do, hell yeah, I said that. But do I really feel like that inside? Hell no. Let me show you something, Kalam. Can you really see this? Is it on the big screen, Kalam?
Yes, yes.
All right, I want you to look at this. This is my son, Asante, 15 years old. Guess who that is, that's sitting next, that's standing with him? That's his girlfriend.
Right.
Guess where she from,
Where's she from? Africa.
From Mali. That's his girlfriend from Mali. And she's always here at my house. All the time. The Africans come in my house. You seen I did an interview with Omar. So that's not real. So when we talk about the conscious community, like Dr. Lahila Africa, Professor James Smalls, Brother Polite, Sarnetta Shaka Utmost, King Simon, and the list goes on and on. Isn't it? Don't you see something crazy when you see us? We have our own business. We don't work for the white man. I think you need to worry about the Hebrew community and not us, because we know how to create jobs for ourselves. We create our own business. We're not so busy worrying about the Hebrew community. We don't wake up in the morning and think about what we got to talk about the Hebrew community, because we too busy trying to fix our own community. Whether you want to agree with it or not, you can hate on what we do. We're not hating on what the Hebrews do. You see? We too busy fixing our community. We work for ourselves. We don't work for the goddamn white man. And I don't knock those who do, because I know you got to pay your bills. So I just want to say that. That's it. Go ahead.
All right, Nazi, the floor is literally open to you. What I'm going to do right now is literally
Hit that reference. From the last, I was talking about the dark matter and dark energy origins. 14 billion years of cosmos by Nightingale the Great, right? And Goldsmith. Did you know? We come with them reference, son. That's what we doing, son.
All right, Unc, 1 second. Just keep your mics muted. I gotta give Nasi his opportunity to
Kalam,
respond to you.
and I know I have reached way more people than Nasi has ever did. I reached way more people than Nasi has ever did. Go ahead, I'm done. I'm finished.
Okay, so I'm just gonna mute everybody's mics right now. Nasi, the floor is open to you right now. Nasi, the floor is open to you. Everybody's mic is muted.
I said, Kalam, you an intelligent brother, so you seeing what's going on right now. I asked Ankh a simple question. He did not respond to the question of African spirituality being a contradiction. What he did is, if he takes off his glasses, you can see the reflection. Hold on, you can see the reflection of the article he pulled up and he just read from that had nothing to do with what I said. He was just corroborating what was said about the 95% matter. So he didn't answer or respond to anything I said. He just wanted to sound intelligent. Then he said, this is what you Hebrews do. You don't understand. You just think everything is about your own planet. This is what he says. That has nothing to do with what I said. So he just deflected in order to get power whipping these. Hold on, brother. I'm talking.
Unc, I've got to mute your mic.
It went over his head.
Gotta respect the cipher, my brother.
This is what you call. This is what the problem is. This brother cannot answer the question, and I will hold him to it. I will bet anybody on here he cannot answer the question. This brother just read an article that speaks on about the dark matter, but that had nothing to do with what I asked the brother about African spirituality and the observation. Then he goes and says that Moses parted the Red Sea like Imhotep didn't change the redirection of the Nile. This is the ignorance that I'm talking about. So now Sinetta does what every white man does. To prove that they're not racist, they say they have a black friend. So he shows a picture of his son's girlfriend who's from Africa. Bravo. But the truth is, Omo Sango from the Black Lotus Civilization, who was a member of the Black Lotus Civilization, when I asked Sinetta to go over there to let him come over his house, the man clearly stated to me that he did not want Africans sitting on his couch. So he's going to show you a picture. He knows somebody that knows the African that knows the African, but you're going to believe him. I'm telling you, if you listen, they don't have answers for nothing I'm saying. They just going to deflect and talk about all the stuff he's doing in the community, how he has his own business and all of this own stuff, but don't tell you where a lot of the money coming from, talking about he don't plot on Hebrew Israelites, when all this debates is almost based off of the back of Hebrew Israelites and stirring up conflict in the community. This is why he's trying to create these. We made you, Sinetta. Hebrew Israelites developed your platform and made you. And so when you talk, and Architect, I love you, dear brother, but your education has finally fell flat on its face, and in front of everybody in the United States, in the UK, you can clearly see that you don't have a response for anything, and you never will.
Well, why don't you just be quiet, Yashuvel, and I can clearly respond.
Okay.
Plain and simple. This is the point you're missing.
Listen, brother. I'm not gonna give you chance after chance to respond, brother.
You're looking at
you didn't respond when you had the chance, brother.
Hey, bro, I'm answering the question right now. I am telling you that the matter that's on Earth is even a smaller percentage. That's not the point, bro. We're talking about the physical aspect of what we can see, touch, and smell is what we're dealing with, bro. Your question was a bunch of crap at the end of the day. I answered it. You just didn't get it. I looked at the whole cosmos. You was looking at on Earth, brother Yashuvel.
No, that doesn't make no sense, brother. I asked. So now he knows how much the.
Okay, sorry, my brother Nasi.
Can't hear you, Kalam. Can't hear you, Kalam.
Can you hear me now, people? Can you hear me now?
Start it over again. You was like, brother Yas.
All right, cool. So yeah, everybody, you know what? We're gonna get round 2 going on. We're gonna get part 2 to this going on right now. So if you haven't already subscribed to Talk with the Titans or Titans TV, I implore you please subscribe right now so you will get the notification coming straight to your phone to let you know that the part 2 is started. It's literally going to start in the next 2 minutes, okay? The links have been sent out. Ankh, check your Facebook. The link has been sent out. Nasi, please check your Facebook. The link's been sent out. Sana, check your Facebook. The link has been sent out for Horsemen of the Apocalypse. I know you don't want to get it in, so please check your Facebook. The link has been sent out to you to join into the panel section. For everybody else, please just go onto Titans TV front page after this. If you haven't already subscribed and you don't want to subscribe for some reason, go there and you will see the link. You will see the new video pop up straight away. Otherwise, if you're subscribed, the notification will come to you straight away, notifying you that we're live, and just literally click into it. Okay?
Hey,
So we've got literally 400 people viewing right now. If you are loving the information, please hit the like button and let me know that you're loving the information. And don't forget to share this with your friends, share this with your family, and hit me up in the comment section. Let's get talking about this. All right, Unc, please get it in afterwards. I'm signing off right now. Peace to the family. The part 2 is coming up right now.